Welcome to the Court Explainer helicopter. This is because Section 7 of the Penal Code tells us that any ignorance of the law is no defense against the law. We looked at the past experience. The law has entered into religion. Today we are looking at chapter, that is from section 139. Is the law allowed to interfere with your privacy? Especially on matters sexual. Can two adults who have agreed to have sex be compelled by the law on how to do sex? You are an adult and you have decided you don't need a woman in your life. You want to have sex with an animal. Is the animal complaining? Why are you being arrested for having sex with an animal? The girl has said, no, me, I want sex with a dog. Why should I be arrested? Boss, this is the question, fundamental question. Is the law allowed to interfere with morality? Can the DCI come with the Subarus and pick you over an adult's decision? Yes, my brother. Yes, my sister. Here it goes. 1. Section 146. Defilement of a person suffering from mental illness. Have you ever had sex with a man who is mentally challenged? Have you ever had carnal knowledge with a woman who is mentally challenged? She's 30 years. He's 40 years. They used to call them imbeciles. Have you ever had a sexual relationship with an imbecile? What does the law say? Any person who, knowing a person to be suffering from mental illness, has or attempts to have an unlawful carnal connection with him or her under circumstances not amounting to rape, but which prove that the offender knew at the time of the commission of the offense that the person was a person suffering from mental illness, is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment with hard labor for 14 years. This woman, you never raped her, but she is suffering from mental illness. She cannot say no. She cannot decide when to say yes and when to say no. You knew. You drive at night with your V8, you drive with your Prado, you drive with your pick. During the day, you saw a woman who is mentally challenged, walking naked and walking naked on the streets of Nairobi. You say, this one is the one I'll come for at night. She'll not ask me to buy a property. She'll not ask me to buy her chips at KFC. She'll not ask me fare for Uber. You go pick her. She can't say no. You go and have sex with her. She's 40 years. He's 40 years. He's 60 years. You are 20 years. It cannot be rape because she's old and she has not rejected. She does not have the capacity to know what she's doing. My friend, you'll go in for 14 years. Number 2, plus hard labor. It is not a joke because you have taken advantage of a patient who is suffering from mental illness. Today, we have very many people suffering from mental illness. We have so many people who you need to know before you seduce them. Are they in full control of their capacities? Many of us are going to prison because we are having sex with people who are mentally challenged. Mental illness. They are adults, but they don't have the capacity to decide. So what does court helicopter tell you? Do a simple test of the person you want to sleep with. Are they in full control of their faculties? If they are not, keep off. You are going in for 14 years with hard labor. Wow! Vivian and Bramwell have brought the extinguisher. Let me run away from that. Number 2, detention of females for immoral purposes. Section 151. Have you detained girls, university students, in an Airbnb? Has your girlfriend come and you detain her? She traveled from Mombasa to see you, but you detain her for immoral purposes. Kwani kuna makosa gani? She walked in. She took a plane and came to see me. Ha! Mambo sio hivyo. What does the law say? Any person who detains any other person against his or her will, both a girl or a boy. This applies to even the women who are detaining young men. It is not only girls being detained. It is boys or girls or boys or men or women being detained. Any person who detains any other person against his or her will, in or upon any premise, with the intent that he or she may have unlawful sexual connection with any person, whether any particular person or generally, if the purpose of detaining that person is to have a connection sexually with that person, or you are bringing any other person to have a sexual connection with that person. 2, if any person detains any other person against his will in any brothel, there are very many women who have been cheated from up country. They come to Nairobi because there's a job. She has no fare. She has been sent 1,000. She takes a bus to Nairobi. She comes, she knows nobody. She's taken for work only to discover it is a brothel. She's there for sex. She has no ID. She has no food. She knows nobody. She has no phone. She cannot call anybody. The places are locked. It is dark. She's given food once a day. If you detain a boy, a man, or a woman in a brothel for the purpose of sex, and this is a serious question, what does the law say? Is guilty of a felony. Number 2, a person in or upon any premise for the purpose of having any unlawful sexual connection or in any brothel shall be deemed to be detained therein by any other person who, with intent to compel or induce that person to remain in or upon the premises on that brothel, 1, he withholds from that person any wearing apparel or other property belonging to that person. Ha! Your boyfriend has come. You, the lady, you are going to work in the morning. You want, as you leave, you carry his clothes, his trousers, his pants, and shirt. You go lock it outside. This man can't go away. This woman, you have taken her clothes. She's naked in your bedroom. She wants to go back to work. She can't leave. This person came willingly, but by your removal of clothes, apparels, that person is forced to stay there for 1 week until you return the clothes. My friend, these are no more occurrences. They're happening daily. University students came over the weekend to see you. You lock them in, you take their clothes. Do you know it's crime? You walk that she came alone. He came alone. He came willingly. He's 30 years old. She's 40 years old. Two, where wearing apparel has been lent or otherwise applied to that person by or at his direction threatens that person with illegal proceedings in the event that that person should take away the wearing apparel so lent or supplied. This girl makes noise. Neighbors come, throw in clothes to her. She wears, and she wants to leave. The boy wants to leave. You threaten her. My friend, the law is difficult. That person, the one of the brothel, the one who denied the clothes, and that person who is there will go in for 7 years. Detaining somebody for the purpose of sex with you or with other people, and you are collecting money. You pay, they go in. They have their sex, they go out. They pay. You collect money in a brothel. You make profit by detaining a person for the purpose of connection of sex. You will go in for 7 years. What does the law say if you detain somebody? Under Section 152, there is the power of persons to search for persons who are detained. If anybody has evidence that somebody has been detained under Section 152, you can rush to court and get an order for that premise to be searched. Or you can go to the police and report under Section 152 for that person to be, for that brothel to be searched. So the question here, are the Airbnbs now turned to be brothels? Have you turned your Airbnb into a brothel? Are girls being brought there and they are being detained without their willingness? Are they being snatched their clothes, their phones, their mobiles? Are the young men in the sex swap groups being brought there and detained for the purpose of swapping of couples, swapping of sexual partners? The law, now you know it. Just like the drug issue, if your premise is used as a brothel, my friend, it will, the power under Section 152, the DCI will come in and search and rescue those people, and you'll face 7 years. Then we have prostitution. Very interesting. Is prostitution illegal? Can you be arrested and be taken to court that you are practicing prostitution? How will this one proceed? Let us deal with that in the next episode, but we still proceed. That one I leave it. Under Article 156, any person who is found to run or manage a brothel is guilty of a felony and will be taken to court. And lastly, on those issues, we deal with what I call unnatural offences. Unnatural offences. Section 162. What is a natural offense? It is here. any person who has carnal knowledge of any person against the order of nature. This section will deal with it more on the Sexual Offences Act, but having sodomy, the two of you will be committing an offense. Having lesbianism, women to women, sexual intercourse of a woman with another woman, it is unnatural. Having knowledge, sexual knowledge of a man and a man. Number two, any person who has carnal knowledge of an animal, whether it's a lion, whether it's a tiger, whether it's a goat, whether it's a sheep, whether it's a dog, if you have carnal knowledge of an animal, that is an offense. Three, any person who permits a male person to have carnal knowledge of him or her against the order of nature. If you allow yourself to be the wife, you are a man, you know you are a man, and you are now allowing yourself to be sodomized. And you say, is my right, is my choice. You are a woman, you are supposed to have carnal knowledge based on the human order, the human natural order. You say, no, me, I don't want the way God or the creator or the genetic makeup made me. You turn and do it opposite way, my friend. What does the penalty say? Once that is proved, you'll be jailed for imprisonment for 14 years. You'll go in for 14 years. The question is, and the defense here is, if you were forced, either you are a woman and you are taken to an Airbnb and you are forced to have unnatural sex, you will not be arrested and be charged. You'll be a complainant because you had not given consent. So, consent, if you consent, you'll go in for 14 years. And this is the question people are asking, who will complain? The DCI will do forensics. And the forensics, if you are arrested, the nerve DNA will be found and you'll be convicted of a unnatural offense. Lastly, if you attempt to do a unnatural offense and you fail, you'll go in for 7 years. Any attempt to commit a natural offense and any indecent practice between two males, you'll go for 5 years. I've seen around indecent assault is touching somebody, caressing somebody. Naturally, you are allowed to caress, to kiss a man, and a man to kiss a woman. If two men are found caressing, if two men are found holding hands, if two men are behaving as if they are, one is woman and one is man, no, don't throw stones at court helicopter. It is here. What does the law say? Section 165. Any male person who, whether in public or private, commits any acts of gross indecency with another male person, or procures another male person to commit any act of gross indecency with him, or attempts to procure the commission of any such act by any male person with himself or with another male person, whether in public or private, is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 5 years. Wow! If you are a man and you are found kissing another man, in private or in public, 5 years. If you are a man found caressing, touching another man as if that man is a woman, in public or in private, 5 years. Wow. That is court helicopter. Why you are aware of this law? Don't tell people Section 5, you didn't know about this because you have never read Section 7. Now you read it. In a public place, in clubs, those boys, those men we have seen. Wow. Take the next jeans off. Put on your escape shoes. Put your trouser. Put your t-shirt. Put your cap. Get your watch. It is time to run away. It is time now to stop having sex, unnatural sex. You are going for 5 years. Time is up. To me, I'm on a sports crusade. Go, run away from crime. Wakili Danstan Omari, always bringing it to you as it is. This is joined with the next episode about prostitution. Very interesting. Can somebody be arrested for being a prostitute? Keep watching. Follow the next episode. Wakili Danstan Omari. Happy New Year.